From Christopher. O master of the multiverse and lord of the power of A's versus E's in last names, I am a gay member of the United Methodist Church and thus expect that I will be one who is part of the group that splinters from the UMC as the church splits following the recent decision to require adherence to the traditionalist view as it relates to human sexuality. And this is, for those who don't know, the Methodist Church has a powerful contingent in Africa, I believe it is, and of course they're far more conservative than we are, and that contingent helped cause the church to vote to continue to condemn, even strengthen their condemnation of gay marriage. And so now the liberal faction of the Methodist Church may break off. And he says to me, as an Episcopalian who's been through such a split, do you have any recommendations on how to weather the storm that is to come with the UMC? Hashtag came for Ben, stayed for Klavan. Well, you can stay for Ben too. You know, we're both here. Okay, great question. Excellent, really good question. And I will tell you everything I can tell you about it from my point of view. You should preach the gospel. If you can preach the gospel and put forward your point of view on human sexuality within the context of the gospel, you should do it. If you can't do that, then you should preach the gospel and change your mind. That is what you should do. And the reason I say this is because I have noticed as I've gone from church to church that, and you know, I'm pretty liberal on this subject. I mean, it's just something that's, as an artist, as a guy who works in the arts, I mean, half the people I know are gay. So many gay people that I've respected and worked with and been friends with. You know, it's always just been something that doesn't bother me. It just doesn't enter my consciousness. But I have noticed that many of the churches that are now accepting of gays have become corrupt because they've left the gospel behind in order to get to the place they want to get to on the gay question. Other churches that continue to condemn or at least exclude gay marriage or gay people, some of them strike me as unchristian. So you have a place where some churches are small-minded and cruel, like when they throw a young man out of their church. I don't think anyone should be kept away from the table of Christ. But when they throw a young man out of their church because of his sexuality, I think that that's unchristian and cruel. I don't think Christ would have done it. He sat down with just about everybody and broke bread. But the people who are saying, no, all is well, we now sanctify gay marriage and we have a new service for people who are transgender or whatever, they haven't thought it through. So what you have to do is you have to get a good theology to support what you're saying, because there is nothing worth abandoning the gospel. The gospel comes first. And if you can do that, and by the way, I actually have high hopes that you will be able to do it, or some gay people will be able to do it. I do not believe the gospel is meant to freeze us in first century morality. Obviously, things change over time, but you got to do it that way because there's no other way the gospel comes first. And if you can't, change your mind.